Hi there, my name is Emma. I'm glad you're joining me. Thank you. I need to let you know this is for entertainment purposes only. For this video, I'm going to give you an idea of what happens when you're not paying attention and you're trying to find somewhere to live. Like in my other videos, I'd mentioned that I left my husband in 2021. I am divorced and I do take care of myself. I don't have anyone to take care of me. But every time I try and pick myself up and I get a place, I always end up having to deal with really bad landlords. Now, this landlord that I'm with now, I'm thinking he's trying to kill me. He intentionally didn't give me a lease. He intentionally made statements that were of a gain for him, but at the same time, I offered to help without knowing what I got myself into. So when I moved into my current place where I am right now, I had some weird things happen. One of them was the fact that he had the air conditioning on the whole time when no one was living here. It was freezing in here. 3 days later, after he told me he was cleaning it up and he was going to take care of everything, he's going to set up the fans, the the fans. I came over and he gave me the key. Then that night I moved in. And I mentioned to him that the house smelled like animals were living here, like a dog and a cat. And he goes, "Well, I don't like cats. You can have a dog, but I don't like cats." Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I turned off the air conditioning unit, and within a week, I had a massive infestation of fleas in the house. And then I started breathing funny. And I knew it was because by the cause of the carpets. So I asked him permission to remove the carpets to my own detriment. Man, and I was wearing a mask. As you can tell, I'm not breathing very well. It's actually attacked my nervous system as well. I have a massive migraine right now. The thing is, when I pulled up the carpets in the living room, I found mold growing everywhere. There's mold, black and white fuzzy stuff everywhere. So I sprayed everything with bleach, sprayed everything with vinegar. I scrubbed as best I could to get it out, but it kept coming back. And I have a video that I gave to the building inspector for the codes of the buildings. And he said, "This is a condemned place, that I should not be living here, and he should have never rented me a place in this condition." I agree. For that cause, I am with telling him that I'm not going to stay here. But before I got the chance to do that, he turned around and says to me, "I'm not going to support you anymore, Emma. You're going to have to move. If you don't pay me my rent on the 20th of this month, you have 10 days to vacate the premises." I'm like, can he do that? Can he do that? And the reason why he said that was because of a promise he made that he was taking back. You see, he got a check from me for $2,200 when I first moved in. He told me that I never gave him a security deposit and that I didn't give him the first and last month's rent. But then he tells me that the last month's rent, he was going to give it back to me in December. Well, I turned around and told him, "No, you keep the one for December, and then I'll make a payment in January for the follow-up of and that's not what happened. He turned around and tells me now that I owe him all this money. How did this happen? He doesn't hear a word you're saying. He's a narcissist, money hungry, greedy person who took advantage of an old lady who was in need of a dwelling. He even said to me that he wasn't going to rent it to the builders that were building across the street. He would rather give it to me. Because I'm a blonde, I guess he thought I was dumb. I don't know. Any case, I'm getting out of here. He ain't getting any of my money. I ain't paying him any of anything else. He's been paid in full. And no, I stopped construction and thinking that he thinks that it's my responsibility to clean up the mold and mildew that's infested in the walls and in the floors and in the floorboards and everywhere, and that it's my responsibility to clean it up. I'm sorry. No, it is not. And for the cause of the harm he made me, I am now sick. So I'm thinking he did this on purpose. He wanted to kill me because he knew what was in this house. How do I know that? Because he had the air conditioning on full blast. Not only that, when I came in, he had white powder all over the place, and I'm thinking that was borax or something else. Anyway, I'm leaving shortly. I will be living in my vehicle. I am with the great love for the fresh air outside anyway. I'm not afraid to live in my car. I've done it before several times. And not only that, I won't have any contract with anybody anymore. I think I'm going to stay like that for a while and see if I can't bring myself back up. The reason why I need to bring myself back up was because I was working for a man who helped me out to get this place. By lending me the money, I gave him collateral for. I gave him over $5,000 in gold, silver, and gems, and a couple of paintings to hold for collateral so that he could help me pay for this place. Then I found out that he too was a nefarious man. He decided to garnish my wages and make it so that I only had enough to pay my rent, and I didn't have enough money to pay for food or for gas. I had to scrounge up my nickels and my quarters to pay for my gas to get back and forth to work. He did that for 3.5 months, and then I had enough with him. Even though I made a lot of money working for him, he is a crook. He was stealing the tips that I was making, marking them in his book, and telling me that he would give those as a bonus to the chefs in the kitchen. Well, I asked the chefs in the kitchen, and not one of them said they got any cash out or any bonus from him. That's when I realized that he also had some mechanism that even though at the end of the day you would enter your tips into your system for your reading, not all tips went through, even though it showed that it did. And as a hostess, he made me count the zero outs of the cash outs with no tip and charge each of the waiters 20% so that he didn't have to write them an actual check. Then I found out when another gentleman who worked there as well, came over here, that he was trying to do the same thing even after I left. There were several individuals who I worked with that told me that they always had a short on their paycheck. Always. And I had nothing to do with that. That was the other hostess, and that was the owner, and the owner's accountant. The other thing, the reason why I couldn't work there anymore was I was getting sick. How come I was getting sick? It's because that restaurant is full of mold and mildew. And every time the inspector came in, he went into the kitchen for 5 minutes, walked out, sat down, had himself a beautiful meal with his wife, and then did takeout. And I saw my boss pass him some envelopes. So I'm hoping that no one will go and eat there, because I'm also with the knowledge of the bugs that were in the spices, straining it so that they can use it for the hummus. It's disgusting. I could no longer eat there. I didn't even want to work there because every time I went in there, my nose would start running and I'd get a migraine, just like I have one right now. I feel sorry for the people who are in entrapment with this man because he is a narcissist trying to control everything and everyone who works for him. I hope that they see that one day and they get up and walk away. And that's what you got to do sometimes for your own best interest and loving yourself. No matter what the circumstances are, you need to get up, turn around, and walk away. And don't go back, because that pillar of salt is even worse than the first time. I hope this message is something that will teach others of how to handle situations when they're in a nefarious company of narcissistic people who think that they can control people and the situation. And know that if you're a narcissist, I know that you've had problems yourself. And these are things that were taught to you. This is your survival mechanism. Turn that around and start loving yourself and look at the things you've done to people. Make a judgment. Then make a penitence for the harm of the maid you did. Give back. Maybe you'll get into heaven if you do that. For the peace is with you, for the love is with you. By my knowledge of the Great Spirit, it is with you. I hope each one is with a good volition heart and will stand up for themselves and love themselves and say good words to themselves. Have a great day. Have a wonderful holiday. And I'll be back soon, because today's the day I'm posting many videos. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed my program. Please like and share and subscribe. Thank you.